Have you ever come across horrifying fan art before? Well, I have. And I think these strange pieces of art are some of the best things the internet has to offer. And you know what? Today's the day I make some. The first person I'm gonna draw is gonna be Brent Rivera. And if you don't know who he is, oh boy. Well, he started off on Vine, then became a YouTuber, and then he started making videos about kissing his sister. And you know what? You probably have seen him before, because he's been insanely popular for the past couple years. I mean, he makes like kids content that's kind of freaky, you know, that whole wave of content. So I decided to draw him, and I decided to also do it traditionally. So it's even like more intimate. So the plan for the drawing was to make him have like two sides, something corny, because that's what I associate him with, something corny. So, you know, one's gonna be an angelic side, one's gonna be a bad side. It's gonna be good, okay? And you know what? I think it's gonna encapsulate him perfectly. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know what angel side he has. I've heard like he's just incredibly rude, so you know, it's me manifesting him being a better person. But I feel like the last time people widely mentioned Brent Rivera was when people found out he was like buying followers and buying accounts. Like, people found out their accounts were bought by him. I remember like this one TikTok finding out and then other people finding out, which is really funny, except I'm kind of pissed off because I never was bought. I don't know why. I don't know why I was never bought, and that kind of annoys me. You know what? The other time that he went popular, and it's not even like from his videos, it was this one account with that LeBron profile who started making like all these edits, and it's like titled blank if you were dating Brent Rivera and this is your camera roll. Like if you worked at Starbucks, if you worked at Starbucks with Brent Rivera, if you went to the fair as a date with Brent Rivera. Like, it was immense. And the thing is, like, it was just all this one person. Like, and I think that's amazing. I love when accounts just do the same thing over and over again, that people think it's a trend, but really it's just them. I think a similar thing happened like a month ago with Jordan Fisher, with that one account that just kept on posting his old TikToks from quarantine, which I thought was really funny because it's just him doing like goofy skits. And then if you haven't seen it, here's the clip. He literally calls this account out and it says they have no life, and it's the funniest thing that's happened as of recently. Anyways, you know, a part of me kind of misses this style of content, you know? Like, the really obviously scripted content that was like obviously geared to little kids, which still like exists, but I don't know, there's something like about 2019 and how much it was like popular. It was like everywhere, you know? You might have seen that one, Curtis Staney and Drew video where they're like recreating it. That's exactly how I do those, and I think they're really good. I miss them. They used to be so charming and really saturated, kind of like Colin's Key, which I won't draw today, but I kind of wish I was. His eyes are really captivating. But I have a confession. This isn't my first time drawing Brent Rivera. I've actually drawn him before, and there's something about drawing somewhat controversial people that's really entertaining to me. Like, if I'm doing something boring, like, that sounds like peak entertainment to me. Like, I've drawn him, and if you know Tyler Catastrophe, that's like a can of worms. Then I also drew him, but in a more like a Mo art style. That was really good. That was really, really good. And I've drawn, I don't know if you know him, but Arnie. You've probably seen him before. He made those stupid TikTok POV videos that was like the black cat and golden retriever boyfriend and girlfriend. Those really dumb videos. And I think it's really funny because he like basically makes the same content still. So I think that's really entertaining. And I've drawn him in his and did like a Deku cosplay. So that was awesome, you know? And so this has been boiling. You know, I've been like craving to draw Brent Rivera. Anyways, like back to the actual drawing. I'm trying to make it as like, I tried making it as colorful as possible, you know? Because, you know, I feel like that fits. He's like around the same time, like the colorful Troom Troom videos. I loved those videos, but I also hated those. It's like that same area, and I really like that. I think it fits really well, and I think at the end, once I added the halo and double horns, I think it really like just ties everything together. So honestly, like, I'm pretty proud of this, and I would love I'd love to send Brent Rivera some art, but not this one, because this one is a little too sweet, you know? Maybe if this does well, maybe I can make one where I make genuinely terrifying fan art of people. Like, it's like what people were doing with David Mizuki when he kept making those horrible updates. Well, he keeps on making horrible updates, where they were basically like cursing him. It was like, I feel like that was like the internet being united. I think that was like one of the best things to happen. That was the best thing, cursing David Mizuki to get him to freaking listen to us. That was really good. You know what? I'd love to do that with other people. You know, especially Brent Rivera. Because I was not botted. I should have been botted. I don't get why I wasn't botted. So I would love to do that to him. And then send it to him. I feel like that'd be really nice. You know? And maybe I'll start a fad. And everyone else would be cursing him. And I think that'd be really nice. And that'd probably be the only thing that would like get people talking about him again. Anyways, here's like the end of the speed paint. I feel like it's pretty darn good. It's colorful like I wanted. It's charming like I wanted. It's quite charming. And I think it has the best of both the worlds, you know? It's very like Angel of Darkness. And I like that. It's like Angel of Darkness, but if he like made it one of those photos he has where he's like posing with a Starbucks cup. I should have added a Starbucks cup because he has a sickening amount of photos with Starbucks cups, but yeah. The second YouTuber I'm gonna draw is Dream. And you know what? Let me justify that. Actually, I don't know why I feel the need to justify that, but I've been hit with so much Dream SMP content and just Dream content in general this past month, and it's kind of insane. But you know what? There's a positive side to that, because along with that resurgence is other SMPs, you know, like Quackity's SMP, which I love seeing clips from. But anyways, that's besides the point, because a new thought just emerged in my mind. I think me drawing Dream and Brent Rivera is kind of perfect, because, you know, in my opinion, I feel like Dream is a pretty good representation of quarantine, you know, 2020, that time. And Brent Rivera, pretty good representation, kinda sorta, for 2016. And let me give you my reason. Earlier this year, everyone was like, yo, this year's gonna be like 2016, which I didn't really believe would happen, but everyone was trying to go maybe a little bit more 2016, that style. But with the whole hantavirus scare as of this year, it kind of changed the waters, because everyone's kind of thinking, oh, quarantine's happening again. We're going in for round 2. Class of 2026 and 2027, say goodbye to your graduation. Which isn't happening, but I think it's really funny, and I think Dream and Brett are pretty good. It's like two sides of the same coin for 2026, you know? Because Brett Rivera, his whole pipeline from Vine to YouTube, pretty good encapsulation of YouTubers at that time, the whole wave that was coming in, because Vine shut down. And you know what? I don't really need to say more about Dream. But I do have to say more of 2020, because honestly, like, not only have people been saying, oh, it's gonna be quarantine over again, like the Jordan Fisher videos, like, it's kind of clear that we're recycling a lot of the same videos. You know, like people are re-uploading a lot of stuff from quarantine, which I think is really funny. A lot of it is pretty funny, so that's kind of what's happening with Dream's content too. But it's not even just like the SMP itself, it's like fan-made stuff, which is endearing. But the less endearing side is the amount of Dream Not Found stuff I've seen this month. I didn't expect to see that much, but it's it's a little too much, and not even, may I say it, not even the best ship in Dream SMP, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's a crazy take, actually. I think that's a very widespread take. Anyways, you know what, about this drawing itself, I kind of wanted to go in the same direction as my last one. The last one had a little bit of that edgy twist, the angel, devil, kind of everything you want. And you know what, this one, it's kind of similar to that, except I'm gonna be using Dream's face reveal photo, because let me tell you something, I think that's one of the best photos to ever exist. And that whole video, I think that face reveal is really impactful. It really moved the waters. And you know what? That's what's gonna be happening in this drawing, because I'm gonna have him peering out of his mask just like the face reveal, and it's gonna be great. And you know what? I actually love this face reveal so much that even last year, like about a year and a half ago, I also drew that whole face reveal. But honestly, it's like 10 times more disrespectful than anything I'm drawing here. But it was fun. But you know what? This time, I've improved in skill, I believe, and decided to make it, a little more cinematic. So I'm putting him in the dark with the glimmer of a screen light in front of him shining on his face and his mask. A little sinister, a little, I wonder what's going on, But instead, you know what? This is why I was saying it's kind of like the Brent Rivera one. I'm adding a little twist, because here in the end, you're going to see something. Instead of just a plain sing in the dark version looking like a creep a little, I'm going to add something that's very reminiscent to my second favorite Dream photo. Him and his infatuation with that devil filter. I really like that. Some of the best stuff, and I think it's really funny. So there's two versions, and you can pick which one you like the most. And you know what? Honestly, this feels full circle. I didn't expect to find Brent Rivera and Dream to be so connected, because earlier it was mentioned, I freaking mentioned Tyler Catastrophe. And then Jordan Fisher, and somehow they've made a way to tie back to each other. Anyways, honestly, I think these two pieces of art work well together. I think they look pretty nice, pretty good, even though they're different mediums. You know what? Maybe I'd like to do a little more with them. I don't want to just leave them at that. I feel like maybe I should try getting it to the people I made it of. So I'll be posting it on TikTok and DMing them in hopes of a response. But maybe if I'm bored, I'll try doing this again. Except I think I want to do something a little more horrifying, a little more disturbing. Just unsettling. Not like, maybe a little bit like Meat Canyon, but like illustration. I'm not going to animate someone I dislike heavily for that. Like, that's just too much. And I think a great contender would, of course, be Brent Rivera again. That'd be amazing. And you know what? I think drawing a disgusting version of James Charles would also be amazing. That sounds like a good time, because instead of it being fan art, it's hater art, and that's my exact feelings for James Charles. So that'd be great. Anyways, I've rambled on for a little bit too long. So if you enjoyed this, thank you. Bye-bye.